A 25-page document was written. It will decide the future of world football. Women's football is not mentioned once. Not a single word. Not a single line. FIFA President Gianni Infantino has a plan. He wants to sell stakes in football major competitions, including the World Cup. Private investors would buy in a new company would be created. It is called FIFA Forward Enterprise, FA for short. And it changes everything. 55 European football associations said no. They voted to boycott all FIFA competitions until Infantino drops the proposal. Completely, but here is the twist: the boycott has a problem. Tournaments are already scheduled, players are already preparing, and women's football is first in line. The Under-20 Women's World Cup starts 5 September. It is being held in Poland. That is weeks away. The Polish Football Association said Friday they have received no information about withdrawals. Preparations are continuing as planned, but the clock is ticking. Infantino set a deadline, 19 September. Federations must accept his plan by then, or face the consequences. Think about that timing. The tournament starts before the deadline. Players will be mid-competition, and the crisis will not yet be resolved. That is the situation women's football is walking into, and it does not stop there. October brings more danger. England have qualifiers that month. Northern Ireland have qualifiers that month. Scotland have qualifiers that month. Wales have qualifiers that month. All 4 nations all competing for places at next summer's Women's World Cup. That tournament is in Brazil, and the Under-17 Women's World Cup is also in October. Scheduled for Morocco. 4 tournaments, 4 competitions at risk, all women's football all happening. While this crisis is unresolved, watch what changes when you line up those dates. This is not a future problem, this is happening right now. Anita Asante played for England. She knows what tournaments mean to players. She spoke directly about this situation. The first casualties will be women's football tournaments. She was clear and certain. I don't think FIFA have considered the implications. That is a serious charge. The governing body of world football did not think through the impact on the players most vulnerable. She went further. You can't take for granted the opportunity to play in the World Cup. Every qualifying campaign is fragile. Every squad place is earned. Every tournament appearance is not guaranteed. And now there is a new threat, one that has nothing to do with football. Asante also spoke about England's schedule. If this isn't resolved by the time of England's qualifiers, the impact could be huge. It is already a busy schedule. That is the reality for women's players. Their windows are tight. Their calendars are full. Their opportunities are rare. And here is what nobody is saying loudly enough: the 25-page JP Morgan document written to convince the world this plan is good does not mention the women's game, not once. Not in passing, not in a footnote. The document that controls women's future erased women completely. So what exactly is Infantino proposing? FIFA wants to create a commercial subsidiary. It would run FIFA's major events, including the World Cup's. External investors buy minority non-controlling stakes. The document was created by investment bank JP Morgan, 25 pages long. It describes the World Cup as the most widely viewed sporting event. It says FIFA is under-monetized. It promises an estimated payout of €24 million per member association in the 2035 to 2039 cycle. It mentions new business initiatives. It mentions attracting top talent with incentive-driven compensation. But here is where it gets serious. Women's football generates none of that language. Women's football earns none of that attention. Women's football exists nowhere in that document. And here is where it gets complicated. The expected lead investor group for FA is called Thrive. Eternal Thrive is an American venture capital firm. It was founded by Joshua Kushner. Joshua Kushner is the brother of Jared Kushner. Jared Kushner is the son-in-law of U.S. President Donald Trump. That connection raised immediate questions about who really benefits from this deal, about whose interests are being served. Carlos Cordero was a senior advisor to Infantino. He resigned. He called the proposal a bad deal. For football, he said it would mortgage football's future. A man inside Infantino's inner circle walked away and warned the world. The global reaction has been fast and firm. Concacaf governs football. Across North and Central America, it hosted this year's World Cup. Its 41 member associations rejected FIFA's proposal. The Asian Football Confederation published a statement. It said it stands in solidarity with Europe and North and Central America, that is 3 of football's major confederations, aligned against Infantino's plan. FIFA responded on Friday. It said nobody is selling football. It claimed the process was disrupted. by incorrect media reports, but Anita Asante had already seen enough. I was, really, pleased to see UEFA take the position they have. They were very clear and firm about how they want this to go. She saw the solidarity. She recognized what it meant. But she also kept the focus where it belongs. Women could be the casualties here yet again. Baroness Campbell was the FA's former director of women's football. She called this situation tragic. Her words were precise. It's a real shame, but I'm absolutely supportive of them standing up for what they believe is right. She also drew a line. Sport must be pure. Commercial investment is important, but it mustn't take over the game. That line is exactly where the battle is being fought right now, between commercial ambition and the soul of the sport, and sitting in the middle of that battle are women's players who just want to qualify, who just want to compete, who just want to play. The deadline is 19 September. The Under-20 Women's World Cup starts 5 September. England's qualifiers are in October. The Under-17 Women's World Cup is in October. If this is not resolved, women's football carries the weight of a crisis. It did not create a document of 25 pages decided its fate, and did not find room for even one sentence about the women's game. So, here is the question for you. If a 25-page plan for world football's future has zero mention of women's football, is that an accident or is that a choice? Drop your answer in the comments if you want to see every angle of this FIFA crisis. Hit subscribe. We are covering everything as it develops. And stay with us, because this story is far from over.